everyone, my name is Ellie and I am the Survivor Advocate Graduate Assistant. I support students who have experienced sexual or relational violence, trauma, harassment, or stalking and get them connected to resources and provide them with any accommodations they might need. This event is also co-hosted by the UNT peer advocate Alexa, and so I will go ahead and give her the floor to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Alexa Gamble, and I'm the peer advocate here on campus. I work in the Dean of Students office here. I basically am in charge of meeting with students who break the code of conduct and explain the conduct process before they have their conduct hearings. I also am in charge of awareness on campus, so if there's an event going on or a student wants to reach out to me, just be like, hey, can you talk about my organization on your page? I'm also in charge of that and making sure students are aware of everything that happens and making sure students are comfortable on campus.
Thanks for that, Alexa. Today we are joined by Kia Davis, and she is a UNT alumna. She is the owner of a nonprofit organization called Heels on the Move to Heal, who creates awareness for people who have been affected by domestic violence and sexual assault, and also donates clothes and other housing items to the needy. And we are just so excited to have her here. And so in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, she is going to tell us a little bit about her story.
Hi! Wow, thank you guys so much. I mean, I truly want to appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much to the incredible UNT family. I love you. I miss you. I absolutely cannot wait to come wrap my arms around you again. I know we are distant due to the things that are going on right now, but we will be able to touch and feel each other once again. That's right. I want to thank this incredible team for putting all of this together, having the conception to put it all together. This is amazing. I really, truly appreciate it. And then the opportunity to come and speak today. Again, they said that my name is Kia D. That's right. My name is not Kia Davis, but they call me Kia D. And I am a graduate of the University of North Texas. I am a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I graduated in 2006, and it was a crazy time back then. I don't think anybody even realized that because I was so good at hiding and masking what was going on in my life. And I'm also a sexual assault survivor and a relationship, domestic relationship survivor as well, where I've had so much trauma inside of situations. And sometimes it's almost hard to come out of that. You have to figure out ways to pull out of that. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, how I was able to pull out of those things. You know, life got really heavy for me. Even while I was in college, and again, I masked it. I had this great smile on my face quite often. I was hurting. I had low self-esteem. I was depressed, lots of anxiety, and I wasn't happy with myself. But I was able to graduate. I was mocked by family and friends. It took me 12 years to actually graduate from college, and then finally, after graduating from college, going on to radio broadcasting school, where I'm actually now the owner of We Talk Radio Network, which is an online radio network. It's heard globally, and I'm also the owner of Heels on the Move to Heal, which is a nonprofit organization where we do assist women who've been victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. But those things didn't happen back then. Back then, I was still dealing with the issues of life. And those issues are starting at the age of 11 years old. I love being an artist. I love drawing. I love playing with dolls. I love playing outside. And I was a kid. I was a normal kid. And my family trusted someone that they shouldn't have trusted in our household. And it resulted in this sexual assault of me at the age of 11 years old. It was very hard to get over that, so much so that when I was 39 years old, I finally decided and mustered enough courage up to actually have a conversation with my mother about what actually happened, because there was so much trauma. And another reason why I didn't have the conversation when I was younger is because I didn't feel like I actually had someone in my corner that I could actually trust at that time to tell that information to. Even though I had a mother and a stepfather in the house, I knew I couldn't trust them to give them that information, and I didn't think they'd protect me. Later on, after having conversations with my mom, she felt really bad that I didn't come to her sooner and actually have those conversations with her. But hindsight is 20/20. I was very young. I didn't know who to trust. I did go to a young friend, and at the time, she was older than I, and she almost encouraged the situation as if it was cool. And she was the only one that I told for many, many years. And so that peer pressure as well it definitely beat me up. Knowing that I should have said something, I could have said something. For many years, I wore that heavy blanket of guilt because I didn't say something. And then day by day, as life got tougher, it was like I can't say anything now because nobody would believe me. But I want to tell you a couple things here. No matter if one person believes you or if everybody believes you, it's your story. It's your story to tell. And it's your truth. And you can't move past it until you deal with that piece of healing in your life, that part of your life that's still hurting. And one of the ways that I did that in order for my support, remember I was definitely terrified to talk to people. But in 1999, 2000, when I found out that it was actually 2000, when I found out that my rapist was actually going to be being released from prison, I was definitely terrified. Now, mind you, he didn't go to rape on my case. He didn't go to prison on my case. He went to prison on another girl's case. So remember, wearing that guilt, because had I said something back then, she wouldn't have been hurt, right? So much guilt, so much, I wore that blanket, right? And in 2000, I heard he was going to get out, and he'd been in for 6-7 years at that time. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And at the time, it's interesting how God works, the universe, the God just put me exactly where he needed to put me. I was actually working for a counseling center at the time. So I was the billing coordinator and receptionist. And I went in to someone that I trusted, that I knew I could trust information with, that wouldn't tell the other doctors. Remember, because I'm a patient, but I'm also working there. You don't have to worry about that. Like, is she really going to go behind my back and tell the other doctors? But I knew I needed another level of help. I couldn't get it from my family. I wasn't going to be able to get it from friends. No one was going to understand but a professional on what I needed. At that time, I wasn't privy to any of the resources at the school, which there may have been at the time, at University of North Texas. But I never reached out. Had I reached out and just looked online for some resources, and mind you, back then there wasn't a lot of online happening at that time. I mean, there was, but not like it is today, right? This is back in 2000, right? It's the beginning-ish of the internet. We had some cool college stuff going on, some cool college resources, but we didn't. These programs, I don't know if they were available, but I didn't reach out. They may have been. And that's the important part. I didn't reach out. I didn't look. And I should have, because had I reached out sooner, I may have had a healing in my life a lot earlier. And that pain that I felt for extra time, I wouldn't have had to feel that kind of pain. But I decided to see a counselor, and the counselor helped me through 100%. And in my healing process, I didn't need to go to the counselor every day or once a week. Or then it got, less and less once a month, and then it got less and less. And now, every couple of years, I check in just to make sure, hey, letting you know I'm all right. Let's talk. Am I all right? Let's talk. Am I all right? Because sometimes things are tossed up in the air, and it's like, she'll always reassure me that I'm definitely on the right track. But things sometimes get tossed up, and it's all about how you grab that stuff that gets tossed up, right? And that's what I did. I tried to grab life by the horns and try and figure it out along the way. And that's how I came up with Heels on the Move to Heal. That's how I came up with We Talk Radio too, giving people a platform, right, to talk about their issues, to talk about things, a free platform where people felt free to talk about these issues. And then Heels on the Move to Heal, coming up with this incredible program. And how I came up with that, let me tell you. One day I was leaving a job. I actually had We Talk Radio. It's been in existence since 2010. Heels on the Move to Heal started in 2018. And I was literally looking in my trunk for some strange reason. I was not living out of my trunk, but I had my entire almost shoe collection in my trunk. But I still had a whole shoe collection in the closet, which was so interesting, right? Shoes everywhere. And I remember opening up my trunk one day like, man, this is crazy. I have shoes in the back seat. I got shoes in the trunk. But it was just a different outfit every day. I was in radio. I was doing this. I was in sales. I was in this. I was in that. Different outfits, different this, different mood. And shoes are my thing. I love shoes. And I decided I'm going to do something special. I'm going to give these shoes away. Because I only have two of these feet. I need to definitely give these away, right? I've got way too many shoes. And so that's what I did. First, I said, I'm going to get a couple of friends together, and we're going to have an incredible fashion show, and we're going to go to a restaurant, and I'm going to get a big box, and we're going to throw these shoes in the box. I'm going to let them walk down a little runway, and a friend of mine was like, no, it's way bigger than that. This is a nonprofit organization. This is healing. This is a healing movement that you've created, and since 2018, we've created healing. We've rescued incredible women from their homes. We've rescued incredible teens, and we've rescued incredible youth. We've made sure people are safe. We've given them resources. We've given them hotel rooms. We've provided income. We've provided shoes. We've provided clothes. You name it. Resources, education, support. We have a huge educational project going on where we want to educate people so that, when they do leave the house, everybody doesn't get an opportunity to go to the University of North Texas. Some people, they have incredible skills, they just don't realize it, or they realize it, but sometimes when you've gone through so much, you forget what your incredible skills are. We're trying to help pull those back out of you just by showing you some incredible things, and that's what Heals on the Move to Heal does. There's so many incredible things we do, but I do believe that me taking all of the energy and placing that negative energy that I had that was all over me and around me and turning that into positive light has helped heal so many people. And so I don't like what I went through. I don't say, oh, I'm glad it happened to me so that I could. But if it had to happen to me that way, I'm glad I was able to take this negative situation that was so hurtful to my life and that literally tried to take me out, and I was able to turn it around into a positive thing and help so many people around the globe. I'm really happy about that. And I'm actually happy that I had the opportunity to graduate from the University of North Texas, and I had so much support there. And one of the things that I want to say, if you have a friend or someone that comes to you and tells you that they've been hurt, they've been assaulted, even if you don't believe them, right? Like, you're like, yeah, right. Maybe you wanted it, right? Don't ever think that in your mind. Ever. Somebody comes to you and they told you they have been a victim of trauma. You help them. You motivate them. You never, ever judge them. People are in such vulnerable places when they let go of that information. And the way you handle it, and the way you, again, just telling someone else about it, if that information was private to her, the only thing you should do is take that information to the necessary police department, not to the other friends around you. It's really important on how you handle that information and how sensitive that information is, but how you take that next step. Don't hold that information. If somebody has been assaulted, definitely take the next step to go to the authorities and make sure that other people in the future that could potentially be affected are not affected. There's so many different things that I learned through that, and I want to let you know you are not alone. If you are someone who has experienced sexual assault in any way, domestic relationship violence, domestic assault, domestic abuse, you are not alone. But we don't want the next generation to have to experience that either. We want you to reach out to those incredible resources at the University of North Texas. There's so many resources at the local level, on the state level, on the national level, and there's so many places that are there, domestic violence and sexual assault organizations that are here and that are ready to assist you. Not only Heals on the Move to Heal, but there's a huge survivor program in Fort Worth, Sisters with Stories, and they just support each other by helping lift up each other and with encouraging each other with incredible and amazing words. It's just awesome to see all of the incredible people who've been so damaged and so hurt come together to help others who have potentially been hurt and who we don't want to be hurt in the future. Because that's the thing. We want to show others, what to look for, right? And how to date, how not to go out late. If it's past a certain time, and sometimes it doesn't even matter what time it is, the assault could happen at any time of the day. But just making decisions so that we can stay safe. That's the best thing for us. Sometimes it means staying in, not going to that party. Sometimes it's about decisions, and that's at the end of the day we have to protect ourselves by making the best decisions. And again, you can't. We can't control what someone else does, and especially if we were a child and it happened, can't control what someone else does. Only thing we can do is, if it does happen, if you are not alone, you do not have to feel like you did anything wrong. You did not do anything wrong at all. It is not your fault. Don't let anybody bully you into believing it. And if a friend tells you at any given point that something like that was cool, don't believe it. It's not cool. Go to the proper authorities. Reach out to these incredible resources that are here to support you and surround you with so much love, time, and attention and support. And that it will continue to help mask and place a barrier in between you and that hurt. And at least give you some additional resources to help move forward with whatever situation you faced. Continue to keep positive people around you. I know that a lot of times in life, our family, they don't understand. I was that person, and I had family there, they did not understand. Even now, my family, even though I've told them and they know exactly what happened, and they believe what happened, they still question me as to why I didn't do anything about it when I was 11 years old. It's one of the most hurtful things that you can do, is to question why you didn't do anything about it back then. I really don't know. Can't give an answer. I mean, I've given you several, but is that all? I was so terrified. You know what I mean? But is that it? There were so many things that were coming together at once, but that's not even important. The important thing is that it happened to me, and I've been able to move forward. Don't let a person make you feel as if you have done something wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. I will tell you, there is a lady. You don't have to be ashamed either. Do not be ashamed at all. There was a lady who was 80 years old, and I meet a lot of incredible people, and I came out to my mom and told her what happened when I was 39 years old, because I said, I'm not going into my 40s with this kind of pain on me. And for whatever reason, I needed to just tell my mom so that this thing could be lifted from me, this hurt and pain. I needed her to know. And there was a young lady, she's 80 years old, an incredible and amazing woman. And she lived her entire life with all of that pain. She never told anyone until she was 80 years old, and we were having a conversation. And she decided to release that information to me. And she said, I'm 80 years old. I've never told anybody this information in my 80 years of living. I could not imagine for 80 years walking around with a blanket of hurt and pain and low self-esteem and depression, and wearing it. Not proudly, but just wearing it. How heavy-weighted her life had to have been. I don't want your life to be heavy-weighted, no matter how old or young you are. It's okay. You don't have to be ashamed. You didn't do anything wrong. If a friend comes to you and expresses to you that they've been hurt, sexually assaulted, or hurt in a relationship, a domestic relationship, or hurt any kind of way in a relationship that involves abuse, please help them go to the proper authorities. Help them find resources that can help heal their lives and help put them back together again. Heals on the Move to Heal is an incredible resource. We are here for you, and we can be found at heelsonthemovetoheal.org. HEELS onthemovetoheal.org. I am Kia D, and I appreciate your time today, and I love you. I'm here for you, and remember, you are not alone. You are so amazing, and let's rock this out together. Thank you.
Kia, you are incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. So to those who are watching, my name is Esther, and I am the full-time survivor advocate at UNT. And I I wanted to provide a little bit more context for who we are and what we do, so that as Kia was encouraging you to reach out, you know what resources available to you on campus. And so on the UNT campus, the Survivor Advocate exists to provide support to student survivors of sexual or relational violence, trauma, harassment, stalking, and other types of violence. And so if you've experienced anything like what Kia's described, or if anything that I just said resonated with you, we are available to you on campus. We can be reached virtually, or we are on campus in the Union Suite 411. And so some of the ways that we support our student population are by providing support and bridging the gap between our students and the resources that they need but don't know how to access. And so those things include academics. Obviously, if you are enrolled in UNT, then you're a student, and sometimes our students' academics get affected or take a hit after they've experienced some sort of sexual or relational violence incident. And so we are happy to reach out to your faculty members on your behalf to let them know that you're not at your best right now, and it's not that you are negligent or delinquent as a student, but you've just really been going through some things that have affected your ability to succeed academically. And so we can ask them to be flexible and lenient with you. We can ask them to extend some deadlines, allow you to resubmit homework assignments, just to work with you and offer additional support as you're moving forward. If you are going through something that feels really emotional and you're trying to figure out how to unpack it, if you're experiencing some of the guilt that Kia talked about, or you're just really fearful and you're trying to find a way to process those things, we can get you connected with counseling services on campus and in the community. We collaborate with Benton County Friends of the Family to offer resources to the community as well, and they offer comprehensive services to survivors of violence. We can also get students connected with our legal services on campus in the event that there's some part of your story that has a legal component and would need some support there. If you have concerns about your health following an incident, and maybe that you might have been exposed to a sexually transmitted infection or that you could be pregnant, we can help you get connected to testing for those things and help to facilitate that for you as needed. If you have concerns about your safety and you don't know where to turn, and you're concerned about where you live and you're trying to find an alternate accommodation, or you need help with finding a place to stay, we can help with that as well. And then the list really continues, and we try to meet you exactly where you are and provide support to you in the ways that feel the most meaningful. And so we do want you to know that we are not going to require you to do anything that feels uncomfortable, and we're also not going to be the people who force you to make a police report or pursue an additional investigation. And one of the reasons we want you to know that is because we understand that in the situation that you have survived, you were probably feeling really powerless during that time, and someone else took away your autonomy and took away your ability to choose. And we know how traumatic that could be, and how traumatic it can feel and overwhelming to have to make these decisions against your will or prematurely before you're ready. And so we always want you to be empowered to make the decisions that feel the best for you. And so if you're ready to talk about it and you want to get the police involved, or you're ready to pursue an investigation, we will be here to walk you through that process, but we will not initiate that process until you're ready. And then we are also available to come and speak to your student organization or to your club meeting, and let them know who we are and what we do. And so if you guys have questions about boundaries or consent, or if you're just interested in learning a little bit more about sexual assault and violence prevention on campus, we are available to talk at your organization. We're available to present to you and be here to offer support to you in whatever ways feel the most meaningful. And so we are so grateful to you for tuning in and for being part of making UNT a safer campus for all of us. And we're really grateful that you also see that you have some part in creating the safest campus and environment for yourself as well as the people that you care about. We do expect everyone to do their part, and we are really happy to be supporting you in that way. And so if you need to reach us, you can contact the Survivor Advocate at survivoradvocate@unt.edu. And if you needed to connect someone to our office, if you or someone that you know has been affected by sexual or relational violence, you can also submit a report online at report.unt.edu. and that would be a sexual misconduct report, and that would come straight to myself and then to Ellie, who you met earlier, and we would be able to make contact with you or with the survivor and offer a time to meet so that we can discuss some of those resources that can be helpful as people are moving forward. So again, survivor advocate at unt.edu, or you can submit a sexual misconduct report online at report.unt.edu. And then you can find us on social media, Survivor Advocate, UNT Survivor Advocate on Facebook and on Instagram. And then on Twitter, we are at UNT Survivor ADV. And so we are so happy to know that you guys are here. And Kia, we are inspired by you. We love you. And we are so encouraged by who you are. And we are grateful to you for sharing your heart and sharing your story. Thank you for being part of our program tonight. We are grateful. And yeah, we're really happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor and an absolute pleasure, and I would come again and again and again if you'd ask. So I just truly, truly appreciate everything that you do, and I hope that other universities are able to create programs like this, because there are so many, unfortunately, things that are happening like this just around the globe, just on every campus. And if we're able to provide resources, and actually if we're able to provide places where people can just have come and have intelligent conversations about it, which is what you've done today, it's the first step. It's the first step. Don't stop. Whatever you do, keep going. There are people out there that need to be a part of this, and they're going to see this video and they're going to want to come back to everyone that you do. But it takes people like you hitting the ground running and seeing the need and not letting go. And that's what we need, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.